Salutations, strappy young man. It's your king leader, the king of YouTube. Fans, I've heard about a new big movie coming out called Marvel Avengers Infinity Battle, where all the big superheroes and supervillains are going to be going at it in an epic, they call it an epic battle of the wills. Now, as you all know, I'm not a big fan of that nonsense. I think it's fantasy nonsense. It doesn't really advance the world in any way. It doesn't do any good for anybody. You'd be better served watching one of my educational things than going and watching a couple of fake weirdos in their tight clothes trying to ram at each other with maces and whatnot. But I know a lot of people like those movies, and I've always been sort of a beacon of positivity. So what I would like to do, putting aside my own which I believe is the only rational viewpoint, putting aside my own rational viewpoints on these movies, I've decided to prepare a special treat for all of you. What I would like to do is a big Infinity Battle, Marvel Avengers Big Infinity Battle mashup, where I'm going to be playing a part of each character. I'm going to be playing each character and advancing the storyline of the movie, and I'm going to be acting it all out for you, so I hope that you all like this very much. Alright, we'll start off with Mr. Spider-Man. Now, you probably all know this guy as Peter Parker. He was bitten by a big tarantula, and then all of a sudden he starts getting a red suit, and he starts wanting to shoot people with his thing. So here is Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Take that, Joker. Alright. Let's try, Thor. You know who Thor is, don't you, fans? Thor's the big guy of, he lives up in the clouds. I am Thor. Son of Odin, you will not treat me like this. And that's his big lightning hammer, shocking somebody into unconscious. Well, let's say that he shocked who's one of the biggest, baddest villains in the Thor world. Let's say that he shocked the Incredible Hulk unconscious. Oh, me Hulk smash. What other impressions could I do? I've seen some of the commercials for this movie. It's a lot of freaks on the screen, no doubt about that. A lot of freaks. Who's another one? Oh, Black Widow, the Lady Avenger, played by Scarlett Johansson. Have I been some bad boys? Time for me to get down to business. And that's what she sort of does. She can do a fast slap. Alright, let's go to another. Who's another big hero? The Ant-Man. Alright, Doctor Strange. Oh, please, stop acting like that. Oh, sit down. And then he makes a chair appear out of thin air for somebody to sit into. Wow, what a hero. But let's get into the advancement of the movie. So the movie starts out, you've got Captain Thor, he's sitting up there on a cloud, and he realizes some evil is afoot on planet Earth. The Incredible Hulk has just destroyed 7 cities. Oh, Bruce Banner, he's going to pay for what he's done this time. So Thor's looking down. He says, what could I do to teach this guy a lesson? Maybe I'll shock him with some lightning. So Thor sends lightning and destroys another city. But it was the Incredible Hulk was so quick he already hopped to another city. Wow. So then a Black Panther comes roaring in, running at almost the speed of light, almost as fast as the Flash. Well, Black Panther's running, and he says, I have so much money, the Incredible Hulk, I could pay to fix all this damage, but I'm still going to make you pay for this. And the Hulk says, Hulk smash, and destroys another city. So then Harry Potter comes in. And Harry, you can expect that he's sort of angry. No, Harry, he doesn't even live in the world of the Muggles. He lives in a whole different world. But he sees Thor, who is a Muggle. Spider-Man, a Muggle. The Incredible Hulk, a Muggle, and he's thinking to himself, oh, these poor, pathetic creatures. Look at these poor, pathetic creatures. And he is sitting on his broom. He's got his wand in his pocket at this point. So he's basically just zooming from city to city. He's able to actually get ahead of the Hulk, because you have to factor in, when you're a wizard and you're flying on a broom, you can go faster than just about anyone else, especially anyone that Stan Lee or the other writers came up with. They couldn't. They're not J.K. Rowling. So Harry, he's surveying all the damage, and he's so smart. He's thinking to himself, oh wow, $700 trillion in damage. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. And he's looking at these guys. He takes his glasses off for a minute because he's getting so angry. His eyes are filling with tears. His glasses are getting fogged up. So he takes a light cloth and he dabs his glasses and cleans them off, puts them back on, and says, ooh, I don't like the looks of this. Because now he can see better. He can see everything that's going on a little better now that he's cleaned out his glasses. So he takes them off one more time. And she kind of shakes his head as if he can't believe what's happened. Puts them back on. Ooh, this is really not looking good. Ooh, this is really not looking good. So he finally pulls that wand out of his pocket. And he says, Incredible Hulk, with all of your might, you think you are so strong with your big bulging muscles, with your veins popping out, with your perfect physique. You think you are so muscular and handsome, and you may be right, Mr. Incredible Hulk, but luckily bronze does not overcome magic. And Harry Potter, he has his wand, and his hand is shaking. He's gripping that wand so hard, you can see his knuckles have turned white. And he puts the wand back in his pocket. Takes off his glasses one more time. Puts them back on. Ooh, I see you now. I see you now. Perfect. I'm about to aim and I'll destroy everything that you stand for. So he gets the wand out. Paternus, Leviton, Cassandra. And he aims one of the biggest spells the world has ever seen. The world, goes in darkness for a few minutes because this is such a big dark energy, spell to destroy everything, to destroy the Hulk, that it blots out the sun for a little while, and it destroys 18 more cities, but it also destroys the Hulk. So now all the people are running out on the streets and they're saying, wow, Harry, you're a real hero. You're a real hero. We thought you were only we thought you only lived in Hogwarts. What do you care about us for? And Harry says, well, I guess this is just what a hero does. Well, he takes off his glasses one more time. Puts them back on. I see one thing very clearly. The light will always overcome the darkness. And then for the next 25 years, Harry would only appear on Earth for whenever they would have celebratory parades. Besides that, he stayed behind the confines of the Hogwarts castle. And all of the other Avengers, except the Hulk, who is now 10 feet under the ground, all of the other Avengers, the Spider-Boy, Thor, the Lightning Man, all of them pay homage to Mr. Harry Potter. Every year they go back there and they pay homage. Because when you are Harry Potter, you can basically do whatever you want. You've earned it. You've earned it at that point. So you have the Infinity Battle, biggest movie of the century, coming to TV soon. I hope I just gave a very accurate portrayal of what all will happen. I've studied all this, even though I see how stupid it is. The only, Harry Potter, that's actually pretty cool and realistic, because they separate the worlds from magic to muggles, and you can see that being true with the existence of other dimensions. But heroes like Thor that have control over lightning, that's just fake. Humans will never have any control over the weather, not even superhumans. And Spider-Man, you got a guy that dons a red suit and all of a sudden he can shoot a web from his wrist. That's not, you'd have to be kind of, not there to take that seriously, to put any real stock in that. So no, I don't really understand the whole drawl of these superhero movies. I just don't see any point in them. I don't see how the human mind can be so erratic that it can rationalize that for 2.5 hours to gain any enjoyment from a movie like that. I just don't understand it, folks. I just don't understand it one bit. But if you read the Harry Potter books from the very start, when he's with his family, he's in a pretty bad situation, and it's very realistic. And then once he finally gets to Hogwarts, oh boy, you're excited then. That's like the culmination, a bigger payoff than anything one of those superhero movies could give you. Like with Spider-Boy, you have Peter Parker at the start. He's just this boring, stupid nerd in school, and then he gets bit by a spider at some point, and there's no real payoff. It's still just boring. I mean, his biggest phrase is talking about, with great responsibility comes great power. Just a very dumb phrase that obviously isn't really true at all in the grand scheme of things. You could have no responsibility and have a lot of power. You could have a lot of responsibility and be the lowest man on the power scale in the world. So, it's just stupid, alright? It's just stupid. The whole Marvel thing is just so stupid, I can't even really wrap my head around it at times. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a layman and trying to think, how do you find this entertaining at all? How are you able to get into this complete stupidity? And at the end of the day, I guess it just comes down to the fact that I operate on a higher wavelength than most. I'm the type of guy that that just sees that and thinks it's nonsense, but I can see Harry Potter and see the realism of that and the separation of the dimensions, magic to muggle, and I can see all that, and I can be perfectly entrenched into that world because there's some realism to it. There's realism within that mysticism. So at least in Infinity War now, they are bringing Harry Potter into the mix, and hopefully maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get to even see Hermione in there. A lot of the old perverts that watch the Harry Potter movies, they would draw these very nasty pictures of Hermione, and boy did it make me angry. But maybe we'll see Hermione. Maybe we'll see Hagrid, the big ogre wizard that can cast that lives in a cabin and can do a lot of incantations. Maybe we'll see all that, and maybe the Infinity War will be a little bit worth watching if they can put some of that into it. But knowing these guys, they'll probably completely cater to the Marvel fan base. They'll completely cater to them and not have a rational thought in their head. You see, I'm the type of guy, I can see a guy. I go way back, folks, and the stuff I've seen, the stuff I've been a part of. I was watching The Wizard of Oz when most people were sitting and watching Alf on the TV. I was watching The Wizard of Oz, seeing the big witch of the wicked witch of the West, and I was thinking to myself, hey, I could harness that power and I could do some real good for the world. I could do some real good for the world. While other people were thinking, oh, that stupid witch is so evil. And then you have J.K. Rowling come along, and she sort of takes inspiration from The Wizard of Oz, and she, I guess, probably read one of my pamphlets, one of my blogs about all that, and how the power could be used for good and would create an incredibly interesting story. So J.K. Rowling sort of extrapolated on all that, and she created the Harry Potter world with this brave hero of a wizard named Harry. So, I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that magic is the ingredient, the main ingredient to a successful lifestyle. If my YouTube channel didn't have a sense of magic to it, if I didn't have the magic that I have within me, like the distinguished genius rapper B.O.B. says, I've got the magic in me. Alright, until next time.